Hi everyone, it's Brooke Klein and you're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 6 episode 9, Clap Your Hands If You Believe. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. So when I saw this was the episode that was coming up, I was excited because I feel like a lot of people remember this episode. Like, this is an episode that you kind of remember, you know, not just thinking about season 6, but in general. There's a lot of iconic quotes from this episode, like fight the fairies, you fight the fairies, you know, Sam with the small cup, just like things like that. I was excited, but you know, this episode is okay leading towards good. You know, it's not as good as it can be. So it's kind of like two different monster type things. Like technically it was fairies and that's what it was. But we had a little bit of like the alien stuff, like they thought it was aliens and then ended up being fairies. And this is not the first time that Supernatural has done this, where it's like you think it's one thing and then it's something else. But it's something where it's like you could have had an episode about aliens. Like that could be cool. Like I don't think we ever do an episode about aliens, but I feel like, I don't know, because then I guess bringing in aliens like would change Supernatural a lot. I don't know, but I feel like it's just like something where like that could be an episode in itself, and it just seems like you're doing a lot. I mean, it's kind of weird that we haven't had fairies yet, and I mean, the rules of what a fairy is and what a fairy can do was kind of like iffy, but something where this season is about monsters. So when they're coming up with monsters, they're kind of thinking of like different things. And so I'm sure fairies came up. And so this episode, even though technically it was about monsters, it feels very different than all the other monster episodes we have, which I think is a good thing because this episode was more humorous, and that like really is what makes the episode. Like I feel like this episode has like a really strong idea. And sometimes strong ideas don't get executed as well as they should. And I kind of felt this way, like it didn't feel like executed in the way it needed to. I feel like the scenes were a little bit rough between the scenes, and they were trying to like, you know, the whole Sam and like the Soulless thing, like they were trying to do a B plot there, which like I understand, it makes sense of where we are in the season, but it just felt like a little bit too much. And then he's like sleeping with the hippie and they're making a lot of sex jokes, which like, I don't know, just like doesn't feel right. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking more about Sam being soulless. He's like, this is something I'm supposed to care about. And it's just like so weird because, you know, when I think about it, I'm like, do we have any other shows, you know, all these paranormal shows, like where someone's technically soulless? Like I think about like the Vampire Diaries, like they turn off, is it their soul? What is it called when they turn it off? Whatever. So I'm like, is it similar to that? Because I don't know, like now analyzing it and looking back at it, it's just like, it's so weird to see Sam this way. And it's just like, I don't know, there's something that like, I just don't know about it. Like, I just don't know how I feel about it. And maybe this is why a lot of people like forget Soulless Sam, and that's why it's just like a small part in season 6 where it's like he's acting this way. But when you think about like all the other times like Sam is playing kind of a different version of Sam, or Dean too, or Dean's playing a different character, like they're actually like for 3 or 4 episodes, like they're not long. And I feel like the Soulless Sam thing kind of is for a long time, like it is a majority of the season. And I feel like the writers probably look back at it and they were like, that was a mistake doing that. Like we didn't need to have that be for so long. And maybe that's why in the future, you know, versions of the characters or whatever is very short, because maybe they look back at season 6, like season 6 has a lot. You know, you're dealing with the monsters, the angels have this like weird war thing, and then like Sam is soulless, and it just like feels like it's like, that's the thing, is Supernatural is supposed to be like very episodic and have like one overarching thing in the season that, you know, here and there's a few serialized episodes, maybe they talk about it a little bit in the episodic episodes, but it's really supposed to be full episodic. And this season, season 6, you know, they're trying to still, I've talked about this before, they're trying to make up for like Erica P not being there anymore. They're trying different ideas. So they have like 2 kind of overarching things of the season. And I understand, like, you know, we've seen so much of angels. You can't not have something with angels, but like, could they have done it? And like, yeah, I understand maybe doing a focus on monsters. Like we haven't done that yet, and that makes sense. But I don't really know if I like the way they're doing it. And again, like Sam is just soulless for too long. And so in a way, like they're still having a lot of episodic episodes, but like the episodic episodes just feel like some first, I feel like I've said this about multiple episodes this season, like the first half feels episodic and then it like becomes more serialized. It just like feels like very 2 different episodes. But this is an episode that is more episodic, even though like it is kind of nonstop, them talking about serialization thing. where it's like in other episodes, it being a B plot, it's like beginning of episode, end of episode, maybe once in the middle, but it feels like it's constant and throughout. And so it just like, you know, if you were to watch this episode out of the blue, which, you know, I feel like it's a good episode, you could do that, like it would kind of pass over you. But when you're analyzing like this and you're like, I'm excited for this episode, this is a funny episode, I'm looking forward to it, and then it kind of is like, I don't know, like it's not executed in the right way with this really great idea, and then Sam solos, and it just like whatever. But you know, I hate to shit on this episode too much because it is on the top 5 list, and I feel like there's a good chance it will end up 5, 4, or 4. I think it's 3 right now, and you know, we have French Mistake coming up, so it will end up at least 4, maybe 5. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe there's other good episodes this episode or this season that I'm forgetting about. But I feel like, I don't know, we're getting to a point where there's going to be even more episodes that are bad, more serialized episodes that I'm just like, but we will see. So thank you guys for watching. You know, comment below your thoughts and like, comment, subscribe, and bye.